very special episode, and so we've got a very special new setting that will be coming to the channel for some episodes. Now, you may be wondering, what is this special event that we're talking about? Well, Donnie, would you like to kick us off?
Shield of Hope is celebrating its 4th year today, August 5th.
That's right, folks. 4 years of bringing indie films to you.
And of course, we want to thank you guys for allowing us to go these 4 years, because without you, we would still be nowhere.
All of your generous support, it's very true.
So, Jake, let's kick this off. What is your favorite moment out of the Shield of Hope saga?
Well, that's an easy one. So my favorite moment, this is not an on-screen, this was something that happened behind the scenes. Though I'm sure, did you ever post bloopers for it? Or was that
I have a
just something
feeling I
that's
know where
in the
you're
past?
going, but I don't think that blooper made it.
Okay. So when we were filming, back when he was in school and he was training for his film work, we were doing, what was it called? The name of
It was a scene recreation project, and what it was a Charlie St. Cloud.
Charlie St. Cloud, that's what it was.
AJ Williams. Big shout out to AJ, who was one of the first people to be on this channel.
Yeah, that's true. But so we were doing that scene, and I don't know, what is my character's name even? I don't know. But so in that scene, I was talking to the main character of the film, and I was kind of telling him that like I battled with cancer, and it's been a long time ago. It was just that one scene. I've never actually seen the full movie. But what the takeaway from this is so we had our one friend, Mike, who you've seen on this channel before. He was in the background, and we were at like a cafe is what the scene was supposed to be, and he was just supposed to kind of come out of where he was working in the cafe and pour us a glass of, maybe coffee or something, we don't know, and walk off. And he comes out with this
Or we don't know is a good explanation for that.
He comes out with this, like, weird green-brown, I don't even know what it was, concoction that he's pouring into my glass with this, like, Mr. Coffee, label on his container. And I'm not a big coffee drinker, and so, like, I'd never heard of this brand, Mr. Coffee. And then I tried his mix, and I was like, this is actually pretty good. And somewhere around that, it just triggered this, like, fit of laughter that just... It was never ending. Whenever I saw either the drink or the Mr. Coffee, we just broke down mid-scene. And it spread to the actor, it spread to the cast, and it was like a half hour of just trying to get the giggles out.
And it became a joke, because even for Christmas one year, I got you Mr. Coffee.
He got me Mr. Coffee. Like I said, I don't even drink
Anybody used to see it at Walmart used to snap a picture. Mike used to snap me a picture of Mr. Coffee in Walmart whenever we go by the aisles.
I've sent some to you too, yeah.
Oh, it was a good time.
It's been this just running joke behind the scenes, this Mr. Coffee.
Most memorable moment for me. I'd have to think about it, because that was a good moment. That would probably be
That would
probably be my favorite moment. That was back in 2015. So we haven't had any good moments in 2015 at this rate.
I have a picture. I have a picture of the cast from that moment. We'll put that on screen. It's actually myself, and we took a selfie back then. Selfies weren't what they were today back then.
With the flip phone.
Yeah. Well, no, I think it was.
I had one.
I think it was an iPhone 4. Is what took it. So a little tiny cube. I used that baby for a long time, but I think that
sounds like the Stone Ages at this point.
And yeah, there's a lot of cast members in there. Man, it's been a long time since we saw some of them. Some familiar faces though, for you guys.
You weren't on set for this one, but Jack Dietrich made up a fictitious character.
Okay.
And it was Klaus Malone. So this was in Visions of Truth. Every time he was on set, he'd always mention like Klaus and stuff like that.
I remember.
And he tried so hard to get into the film, so
I remember the joke.
We got it into the film. It was an inside joke. I don't really know where it started. I did name its last name though, Malone.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't around for it starting, but I do remember like it being kind of thrown around, and I was kind of like, Klaus. Who is this Klaus?
He made the credits too.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Favorite and least favorite film. Let's talk about a favorite first. How about we just... Let's not knock ourselves down first. Let's build ourselves.
Or do we want to knock ourselves down first?
You're right. Let's knock ourselves down.
And on a high note, folks.
The least favorite film. I'm gonna go Ambush because it wasn't a long one.
Ambush didn't really have. It wasn't really like I honestly.
Yeah. Well, it's still considered a short film.
Yeah.
It's more of an action scene.
Yeah. I think we're gonna count anything we've filmed.
Yeah.
On these lists, by the way. Maybe cut out. For this particular one, maybe cut out the recreation scenes.
Yeah.
Though I have to say some of them were pretty good. I remember your Wolverine one, your blood work, where he stabs the arrow in. That was just
Jack
beautiful.
That was awesome.
But as far as this one goes, we'll cut that one out. Yeah, Ambush isn't too memorable. For me, it's kind of like, honestly, I remember seeing it. I remember some troubles with some of the actors.
I was just more amazed, being that we've shot same amount of like the same amount of minutes. Like I think it's like a 3-4 minute video, and we shot that in 4 to 5 hours. And sometimes we need 4 to 5 minute videos now, and it takes us 2 days.
Yeah.
Just to get different shots. Of course,
I mean,
we had 3 cameras on set that day, which I don't know if we've ever had the same amount of cameras on set. Normally we just run 2 camera systems.
we usually have 2 cameras, yeah.
And normally it's me behind the camera and somebody else, whoever I throw it behind there. I throw you behind
And
there.
if you show up, then one of us, like I take
Yeah.
the camera or something, or.
Which is why I don't like to be in my own films, because I like to be behind camera.
I mean, you have to say though, aren't you glad that I'm there?
I am
compared
glad
to
you're
say
there.
Matt or someone like that. Some of our other.
Matt I do have to say, Matt did a really good job in Visions of Truth.
Hmm.
Of course, we also had Death Count. He also died 9 times.
I always
He was
think
a
of,
different character. Time. By the way, can we go back to the best favorite moment? By the way, we talked about this the other day at the Karshner's. Do you know what it is? At the premiere of Visions of Truth, I fooled the audience so well with you thinking that you died in what was it called? Where you zipper it up,
the body bag.
the body bag.
Hmm.
Because you came out of the premiere that night and Matt was there, and you're like, Donnie, how did you get my face in the body bag? And then Matt started laughing because it was actually Matt.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Matt still talked about that because we had like a kill count. So every time we should really put on screen like the Matt Karshner kill count.
How many times has Matt
He
died?
died 9 times himself in Vision of Truth, and he died about 2 or 3 more times in Ambush.
How many times can we kill Matt? We have to make that a thing. Maybe every film just kill Matt.
We
somewhere.
should.
It's a totally peaceful film, and
But
you
see,
see a car go off. A
when
cliff
you
and
don't
go
show
back.
people's face on camera all the time, you can really kill us. Like it could be the same extra just dressed as something else.
Oh yeah, it's true. I'm always amazed what you can do with stunt doubles and things like that.
But it is truly amazing though. With getting back to the Ambush thing, it's truly amazing how we shot that in 4 hours, and as the sun was setting and stuff like that, compared to maybe a 10-minute film for A Mile Apart, and we shot that in a whole week.
Mm-hmm. I mean, one of the things though is just the quality of the films we're putting out now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're getting these better angles, we're getting these better shots.
I give a lot of credit to my actors because for being volunteers,
Oh yeah,
they do
I
an
know.
amazing job.
And their dedication is what
dedication, and the fact is, these are certain people. Like I've asked to act before, and they've had no experience in acting. Scott came from a theater department, so he had a little bit of theatrical acting, and he's a good singer and stuff like that. And he wanted to do some movie acting.
Mm-hmm.
So when he actually showed up at our church, I was like, okay, hey, you want to do this or whatever? And he's like, yeah, we'll do it. And he's progressed because remember, he's in Fight for Me now.
Mm-hmm.
So he's progressed so much from the first Memory of Lies, Visions of Truth, to Fight for Me. Steve Machida has progressed drastically. He's been on a TV series actually in the background.
I did not know that.
Yes.
I did not know
He
that.
was in Blue Bloods, I want to say.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we got some Shield of Hope out there. We got some.
Which reminds me, while we're at it,
We got the starting base, yo.
While we're at it, let's. I just want to give a special shout out to if any of our former or current actors are watching this right now. Thank you so much for all of your help in the past 4 years. We couldn't have done it without you.
Literally, we could not have done it without you. We thank you from the bottom of our heart.
We just have different mats all over the place. If
We
we
did.
didn't have you, here's a mat. Here's Matt. We'll put a wig on Matt.
We had a few mics. We had in Visions of Truth. We had not Visions of Truth. Fight for Me.
Mike shows up a lot of
There's
mics.
Mike Karshner, Michael Inamorado. I butchered that last name. I apologize. And then Michael Lamberti from Bloom. They both helped out. And it was like we had 3 mics on set that one time. So when you had to call out Mike, you're just like,
Which
which
one?
one?
All right, so that's your least favorite. So what's your? I mean, your favorite. I know what your favorite is already, but go ahead and tell the audience.
My favorite is personally Visions of Truth. To me, that was a stepping stone in the right direction. It was not well received on YouTube. It was not well received by the public. But I will say one thing. To me, it was still my favorite story. And I thought a lot of great acting moments came there, especially like what I was talking about with people that were elevating their skill levels from the first one to the second one to the third one. Jack Dietrich did an amazing job from the Wolverine that he was originally in and the Wolverine is my scene recreation of the Wolverine that we've talked about, not the actual Wolverine. Scene recreation Wolverine to Memory of Lies to Visions of Truth. Especially that jump from Memory of Lies to Visions of Truth. Jack Dietrich pulled off, I thought was one of the best performances I've seen filmed so far in my time on YouTube.
One of the things I
truly
always
believe
like that kind of stands out about that particular film is some of the different cinematography. Like I've shown scenes to I was at a party hanging out with some friends one time, and they had tried making some sort of like personal films themselves, and we watched theirs, and then we showed a couple scenes from that film, and I was like, all right, guys, look at this.
Was it the scene you were in?
Of course it was the scene I was in.
I love the lighting.
That's the thing, the way the camera, or the way the flashlight, you get the beam.
And the silhouette, too.
Mm-hmm.
With that blue background.
Kind of appears in the background. I showed that particular scene, where I drop the clipboard, and we run out, and then we make that quick drive.
Let's not forget your Jeep interference.
Oh, you gotta have the Jeep.
You gotta have the
My
Jeep.
view. And the stabbing. We showed that scene. We also watched, I believe, Beauvais' death scene, and I think there was one other scene we watched. But
I like the creativity too, because the Beauvais' death scene, like the whole being on camera and being sent like a video message and stuff like that. You know, it's just different things that, like, you could have easily did that through like just some sort of random moment, and they could have just showed up and found his body or whatever. But it's physically showing Scott's character Greg seeing all his fellow officers dying as a result of him messing up with the wrong person in a revenge type tactic.
Or at least, showing the audience those particular moments. It gives it. What happens is it characterizes those people. They're not just, oh, this is some dead number, this is some dead person, some statistic. We see a person, we get someone that actually like we can connect with. We see their pain, we see their emotion, and we see their death. So while I wouldn't say that's our best film, I know that's your favorite, there are some excellent moments in it.
Well, I especially think in 2018 when we did Mile Apart and when we did Agendas, I think we really pushed the limits on those films.
Agendas is probably my favorite. You know, I like sort of the darker stories where you get sort of more into the grayer areas of society where everything's not black and white. And so that's what I love about Agendas, is that's the first film where we're really sort of working in that area on your channel. And I mean, that's what makes it my favorite, because that's totally my area.
And each of these films too, and we try to stick to like a moralistic base too. And I think a lot of the films, even though they have tragic endings, I feel like there's also redemption moments in all my films, which is why I do like that kind of theme, because it's a nice theme to have in films.
Oh, yeah,
especially if it's not like the ultimate arc.
It's a timeless classic. Everyone likes the redemption, even if it's not the full redemption. You know, your Darth Vader. There's something special about it that just keeps bringing audiences back and connecting with those moments.
Do you want to say anything else too? And like, this is off the cuff, because we have a special surprise for you guys coming up here in just a few seconds, maybe minutes. I don't know, somewhere in there. But stay with us.
Depends how much we chatter.
Do you want to talk about the film in the winter at all?
I mean, I believe we've mentioned a little bit of it.
We haven't talked too much about it. I mean, the script is basically finalized.
We can let's say this, that we have a special treat planned for you when we finally get some snow to do some winter filming. I mean, we could give them a title. Do we want to give them a title?
Jake, it's all yours.
Alright, so this upcoming film, the title for it is called Gateway to Eden. It's going to be a Northern Canadian sort of Arctic type theme base. First time filming in snow like that, so it's going to be out first. And it's actually, the first script I fully wrote. A lot of times Donnie writes and I sort of give some feedback, so as I've mentioned several times in this channel, my specialty is writing stories. So short stories, novellas, I even have novel drafts that I'm working on and will plan to eventually publish it if all goes well. And so I wrote this last winter, actually. I was working with a class, and we were actually supposed to write like a play, and I talked to the professor and was like, hey, do you mind if instead of writing a play, I write this script so that we can film something? And so it's going to be, I mentioned I love those sort of gray characters, that bit of mystery, with lots of suspense, and it's going to be one of those true Jacob stories. So prepare yourselves for that, coming this winter. If we get good snow. Everything's warming up here, and the snow keeps melting really fast. We'll see.
So, the moment you guys have been waiting for, at least I don't know if you're waiting for, I teased it a little bit on our Facebook page saying you might see something, but here's the first 3 minutes.
The big moment
of Fight For Me.
Ready, go!
We hope you enjoyed that special sneak peek of the upcoming film, Fight For Me.
Now this film did have a lot to do. It was the first time that we used a lot of green screen. And by a lot of green screen, I mean everything that you see in boxing is going to be like the green screen backgrounds and stuff like that. The last time we tried that was a sci-fi film.
Oh, that is. Have we ever? I think probably some photos maybe made it on like channel sources, and I think some of the wasn't there like a behind the scenes.
There's behind the scenes on the Shield Hope channel that you can check out.
That was a fun. We've only filmed a few scenes for it. It's a longer sci-fi piece. We did some filming back in 2018, and actually with some fight scenes filming. We can show you. Well, actually, go dig around. Go find that video for yourself. The behind the scenes. We made costumes for it. We made special sci-fi blasters and weapons and helmets. And, I mean, I think the last bit of film we did that was actually choreographing a fight scene. That was pretty fun. Even if Mike K has no reflexes. Mike K! How are you going to react when you get here on the arm? Or someone swings at you like this?
He falls a different way than what he should logically, and we had to teach that to him.
He'll get whacked on this side instead of going back this way because the momentum throws you. He'll be like, ah!
But I want to give a quick shout out to end this video. A lot of great help on this boxing film, Fight For Me. A lot of great cast, a lot of great crew. Thank you for the locations that we were at Rocky Boxing.
Yeah,
thank you, Leo.
It wasn't all green screen, just certain moments of it were.
Thank you guys for the support, especially on this channel. And
thank you for 4 years.
4 years. It's hard to believe.
It really is. It doesn't feel like 4 years, but I mean it has been.
So thank you guys for all the support. Hopefully we'll see you next year at a bigger panel. I would love to get it's going to be the 5th year for Memory Lives cast. We're going to have to bring everybody back.
Oh boy.
So let's run out of the theater by then, right?
It's going to be interesting getting some of them back.
We're going to top Comic-Con.
Topping Comic-Con next year.
Have a good one, guys.